A woman forces her clothes to close and says she doesn't want to carry that belly around with her, until the employee appears and asks what she's doing and that she should stop it, but the woman tells her to stop and leave her alone, until the husband appears and asks what's going on there, and the employee says it's his wife, but he asks her to tell him what's going on. So he asks the employee to excuse them, and then he tells his wife that he won't allow her to do anything bad to their daughter, and he asks what she's doing, but his wife explains that she doesn't want to anymore, but he asks what she's talking about, and she tells him to look at her and see that she's all deformed, but he insists on asking what is happening to her and remembers that when they were younger she said that her dream was to be a mother, and that now that they are about to realize that dream he is acting like this, and he asks why. The wife explains that it would be easier that way, that she sees how awful she looks and that she can't eat and can't do anything, that she thought it would be easier to be a mother, so the husband asks her to look at him, and he says the wife goes through the kitchen and sees some chicken thighs on the table, and she says she's hungry, but she thinks about it and says she has to lose weight and asks her to calm down, but she insists that she's very hungry and that the chicken smells so good, but that it has so much fat, but that she's starving and that the baby can't go hungry, and that it's delicious, until she decides she can't stand it any longer and starts to eat the chicken and says it's delicious. After eating, the wife cries and says that she has to stop because no clothes fit her anymore, and that she has to stay dressed like an idiot in the house. Then she starts putting her finger down her throat to force herself to vomit. The employee appears and tells her to see what she has brought for her, so that her baby will be born very well and healthy, but the wife tells her to stop saying that word, that for her that baby won't be born, or not either, and that it's better for that baby to be born soon to stop bringing her so much trouble, but the employee asks her not to say that and explains that a baby in the family is something wonderful, and that they should welcome the baby with a lot of love and affection, but the wife asks how she wants her to welcome with so much love and affection that thing, which has made her fat, horrible and ugly, and that she no longer has any self-esteem. The wife says that it was a damned moment that she got pregnant, then the employee says that she's speaking from experience, so she tells her that when she had her first baby she felt like that too, and that she went to the doctor and the doctor said that it could have been postnatal depression, and that she thinks she has it, and that she'd better get help, but the wife says she's disturbing her mind and tells her to stop and shut up, calling her a busybody and asking if she doesn't get tired of talking about the baby all day and if she doesn't think about her, so she decides to get the food and says she doesn't want that disgusting soup because she's not sick, so the wife throws the soup in the sink and tells the employee to get out of her face and that she's a pain in the ass. The husband appears and says he heard his wife vomiting and asks if everything is alright, and asks how the baby is, but the wife says she's tired and asks to be excused, and asks him to take his hand off her and not to touch her, but the husband asks what's happening to her, and she says that she only hears people asking if the baby is alright, that she should eat well, that she should take care of herself and the baby, but that she looks at how she is, that she's destroyed and looks at the way her body looks, that she's turned into a piece of garbage during this pregnancy, that she no longer has anyone's attention and that she only knows how to live like this, that there are no clothes that fit her anymore and that she can't take it anymore, that she spends most of her time in the bathroom vomiting and feeling sick, and she wonders what will become of her after this pregnancy with her flabby skin, and that she'll never be who she was again. The husband apologizes to his wife and agrees that they really only talk about the baby and that she didn't think about her and didn't want to know how she was feeling, but he asks her to think on the bright side that she has a child inside her, that their dream since they were teenagers is inside her, but she explains that she had a different perspective on what it was like to be a mother, that she thought it was totally better and different, but that now she's allowed a child to grow inside her belly and that she's not okay with that, and that she's going to be a terrible mother and that she's sure. But her husband asks her to look at him, and he tells her not to get upset because it's all part of motherhood, that it's going to be okay and everything is going to be fine, that she's going to be an excellent mother and that that little girl is going to be very blessed in their lives, and he says that he loves his wife and that he's always going to be by her side for everything, and she says that everything is going to be fine in the end. When he arrives home with his daughter, the husband is holding the baby and says that she is his father's precious. He then asks his wife if she doesn't want to hold the baby, but the wife says no and tells him to get that child out of his sight. But the husband tells his wife that since their daughter was born she hasn't wanted to hold her until now, that he is her father and does what he can, but that he needs motherly contact with his daughter. But the wife asks if she really needs this contact, and that if so she'll have to put up with it because she doesn't want contact with her daughter anytime soon. But he says that she rejects her daughter so much and asks what she's done wrong to her, that their daughter is a blessing in their lives and asks why she does this to her daughter, but the wife ignores it. Then the husband asks the wife to listen to something and asks her to accept that little girl because she's her daughter, that she needs her mother's contact, her love and affection, and asks her to hold the daughter for a while. Then the husband says to put the daughter in the chair and that he's going to get things from the car, and he asks the daughter to stay there and that dad will be right back. With the doctor, the husband says he wants to know how his wife is, that she doesn't want to eat, that she's rejecting their daughter, she doesn't want to drink water, and that she's been like this for many days, and he asks what's going on. Then the doctor explains that his wife is suffering from postpartum depression, that this can occur before or after pregnancy, but the husband asks if this is serious, and the doctor warns that it could be very dangerous if his wife doesn't seek help, that she could try to take her own life or that of their daughter, and that he recommends that she see a psychologist and that her husband give her all the support she needs. The husband thanks the doctor for this, and the doctor tells him that if he or his wife needs anything, they can go to the doctor. The baby starts crying and the wife begs her to stop crying and be quiet. The employee appears and asks what happened, and the husband goes up and asks what happened there, but the wife starts to say that she didn't do anything and that she swears, that she thinks she ended up sleeping and that her daughter fell out of her arms, but that she didn't notice and apologizes. But the husband says that the wife is very distracted and inattentive, and asks how she can sleep with her daughter on her lap, so he asks the employee to give her the daughter and asks the wife to be more careful. But the wife apologizes and says she's no good, and asks for forgiveness for that, and the husband says he hopes nothing has happened to his daughter and asks the employee to call a doctor please, and the wife continues to apologize and says her daughter is so small and fragile, and asks if something has happened. With the daughter, the wife says that the daughter is so small to leave but that she was never ready to be a mother, so she asks God for forgiveness for what she is going to do now, that she can't take it anymore, until the husband appears and asks if the wife is crazy and what she is doing. He says that this is a mistake that she was going to make and that she would regret it a lot later. But the wife says that she thought that by taking the daughter out of their lives their problems would be over, but that she discovered that it is not enough for him or for the daughter. The husband asks the wife please not to say that she is worthy of being the mother of their daughter, and that he knows that inside her heart there is a lot of love and affection that she will give her daughter, that she will be an excellent mother and that he trusts her a lot, and he asks her to hold on to her daughter. But the wife says that she didn't want to be like that and apologizes to her daughter. She apologizes for everything she did and for what she was going to do to her daughter, that she didn't want to do this, and she asks God for forgiveness for all of this. But the husband asks the wife to be calm because they will overcome this depression and that they will be a very happy family. that the wife should be fine and that he is with her for everything, that their family will always remain united. Postpartum depression is something normal that we go through after giving birth or even during pregnancy. Because of this depression, she rejected her daughter, despised her and blamed her for what she felt, but thanks to God and her husband, yes, her husband who didn't leave her alone, she managed to overcome it. Seek help and don't let it destroy your right to enjoy motherhood.